course, Peter Reid here at Goodison Park for the third time as Sunderland manager. 2 wins to his name already, a 3-1 win in December '96 in the Premiership. Of course, there was a 1-1 draw in the Worthington Cup, but Sunderland went through after a penalty shootout. Of course, Ibrahim Bakayoko missed the all-important penalty for the Blues, and of course Sunderland went through to the next stage of the Worthington Cup. So the Blues will be looking, third time lucky, as this game is underway, looking to beat Peter Reid, Sunderland manager, former Everton player. It's Everton versus Sunderland. Everton in the blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. Sunderland in those famous red and white shirts, black shorts, black socks. Sunderland attacking the Gladys Street end in this first half. Everton attacking the Park End stand. First touch for Niall Quinn. First free kick of the game, foul by Don Hutchison on Gavin McCann, the Everton skipper. Of course, Scotland player as well, scored against England at Wembley. A lot of talk about Hutchison. Will he stay or will he be going? Influential player for the Blues. First free kick of the game, ball fired inside the 18-yard box, and Hutchison gets it clear, only as far as Stefan Schwartz, over the top and away by David Unsworth. There's Kevin Campbell, first touch for Campbell. Hutchison again in strongly. Play on, says the referee. That's going to be a free kick, is it? Yes, says Stephen Lodge. Foul by the Swedish international Stefan Schwartz on Francis Jeffers. Already 5 goals to his name so far this season. He'll be looking to add to the tally this afternoon. Boxing Day game here at Goodison Park. A cold Sunday afternoon. Most players wearing the long sleeve shirts on the Everton side. There's Richard Dunn operating at right back. Not the best of crosses, but Richard Goff's well forward. John Collins takes up the loose ball, and Niall Quinn under pressure loses out to Mark Pembridge. Goff once again midway inside the Sunderland half, caught in possession, and Sunderland are able to bring the ball forward. It's with Chris Makin back with Paul Butler. Forward it goes. Richard Goff's underneath it, gives the ball away, and chance for Sunderland to break. Paul Gerrard quickly out of his goal, had to be quick, and he certainly was. Safe pair of hands, Paul Gerrard, taking his opportunity on the Everton side with the injury to Thomas Myler. Just bowls the ball outside his own 18-yard box. Will clear left-footed, long downfield, looking for Kevin Campbell. Campbell wins it in the air, good flick on. Jeffers can't get on the end of it. Here's Mark Pembridge forward, looking for Jeffers, and then he falls for Kevin Campbell as the tackles fly, and David Unsworth tries to pick up the loose ball, and that will run out of play for the throw-in to Everton over on that left-hand side. Mark Pembridge to take, no, decides to leave it for David Unsworth. Here's Campbell, back to goal, flicks it over his head, but connects the balls, and Alex Roy was able to clear it for Sunderland. Here is Rollins again, but Barney steals it back, tries to find Francis Jeffers, but the free kick's gone Everton's way. The foot was hard from Alex Roy, so Stephen Lodge quickly to blow on his whistle, indicates the free kick to the Blues. Midway inside the Sunderland half, Don Hutchison standing over the Everton skipper. Captain armband round his right arm. Dinks the ball forward, looking for David Weir, who wins the ball in the air. Comes off his head behind for a goal kick to Sunderland. David Weir already scored 1 goal, and what an important goal it was. That equalising goal against Leeds United a couple of months ago in that 4-4 draw. Scotland international, alongside Richard Goff, a former Scottish international, in the heart of the Everton defence. Niall Quinn to worry about this afternoon. Walter Smith and Sir Philip Carter, chairman and manager of Everton Football Club. I just wonder what Sir Philip's thinking of the current predicament. Bill Cameron, of course, all the talk of him buying Everton Football Club. Walter Smith hopefully will have some money to spend. Players have gone in the last couple of months. No players have come in as yet. As Makin dinks the ball forward, looking for the big man Quinn. Just held off by David Weir. The ball still bobbles around, and David Unsworth should get the ball clear. Looking for Kevin Campbell. Referee says play on, no free kick. Campbell thought that he was fouled, and the ball goes all the way back to Paul Gerrard. A quick throw out. Richard Dunn just caught by Stefan Schwartz. Stephen Lodge quick blow of the whistle. And it's going to be a free kick to Everton, with Richard Dunn playing in that right back role this afternoon for the Blues. Back four of Dunn, Weir, Goff and Unsworth at left back. The midfield of Barnby operating on the right hand side. And of course John Collins and Don Hutchison in the central midfield roles, and Mark Pembridge out wide on the left. Up front for the Blues, Kevin Campbell and Francis Jeffers. Here is Kevin Campbell. John Collins slides in, can't win the ball for Everton. His ball bobbles around. Next summer he just skips past Don Hutchison, but runs into David Unsworth as the tackles fly in. Richard Goff in strongly. Now John Collins able to snap the ball out of play for a throw into Sunderland. certainly seen an interesting 4.5 minutes of this FA Carling Premiership game. Everton versus Sunderland, no goals as yet. Everton 0, Sunderland 0. It's been fast and furious in these opening couple of minutes. Gavin McCann plays a ball forward. Here's Niall Quinn, bit of space. There's David Weir breathing down his neck, and David Unsworth comes across to help him out and just puts the ball out of play for a throw-in to Sunderland, which the fullback Chris Making takes. There's McCann, former Everton player, £500,000 signing last November. Peter Reid describes him as a future England player. Already 3 goals to his name so far for Sunderland in the Premiership. Flick it on from Kilbane, and it's back with Paul Gerrard. As Richard Goff has it now for Everton. Forward into the path of the captain Don Hutchison, who knocks it all the way back to Paul Gerrard, just standing on the edge of his 6-yard box, just tells his players to push upfield. And Gerrard will launch it left-footed. Again looking for Kevin Campbell, but well won in the air by Paul Butler. Now Kilbane finds Roy. Here comes Michael Gray. Going to be interesting to see Michael Gray get forward. He likes to get forward as often as he can. Weir away for Everton. Now Stefan Schwartz. Little touch to Roy. He does well to get past the challenge of Kevin Campbell. There's a good ball out wide to Nick Summerby. Little cushion header, but the best from the former Manchester City player. Now Gerrard with the clearance again. Again, not the best of clearances from the Everton goalkeeper. Doesn't find a blue shirt. And of course, Nick Summerby, his dad playing professional football, has just been fouled by David Unsworth, so a free kick to Sunderland. David Unsworth playing in that left-back role, of course, keeping Michael Ball out of the side of presence. Michael Ball has been first choice left-back. David Unsworth returned to the club to play at centre-half or at left-back, as Sunderland have a free kick, which Nick Summerby is standing over. A fine crosser of the ball. In comes the cross from Summerby. There's Niall Quinn behind for the goal kick. In fact, the referee signalling that the offside flag is up, so a free kick to Everton. Goal has gone in the Premiership. It's Leeds 0, Leicester 1. And Tony Cottee, the former Everton player, has scored that goal for Everton. So the first goal with the 3 o'clock kickoffs. It's Leeds 0, Leicester 1. Tony Cottee, the goal scorer. Here's Mark Cambridge. Well, he loses out to Making, but all the way back to Thomas Sorensen wearing the tracksuit trousers is the day, feeling the cold. I'm sure he's used to playing in the cold conditions coming from Denmark, as Don Hutchison finds David Weir. Does well to control it on his chest. Everton just playing a bit of football outside their own 18-yard box. Richard Goff nearly lost that. Found Richard Dunn, and Stefan Schwartz in strongly out of play for a throw into the Blues. But Everton just have to be careful, because Niall Quinn is certainly a handful up front for Sunderland. Now Steve Bold, not the best of clearances, gives it straight to Francis Jeffers. Here is Jeffers, looks up, forward, looking for Kevin Campbell. Ball bobbles about, it's still in play. And some work to do for Michael Gray. It's with Hutchison, right-hand side, little back heel, lovely finds Richard Dunn. Dunn looks up with the left foot, plays it forward. Jeffers is onside, Kevin Campbell's calling for it. Brings off Steve Bold, first corner of the game. And it goes to Everton. Steve Bold, former Arsenal man, captain of Sunderland, gives away the first corner. Good break by Francis Jeffers. Chance now for David Weir to push forward. Richard Goff is also inside that 18-yard box. And a chance for Everton looking for the first goal of the game. In comes the corner. There's David Weir, meets it, but can't keep his header down behind for a goal kick to Sunderland. So the first real opportunity for the Blues, 8.5 minutes gone. It's Everton 0, Sunderland 0. David Weir with the first chance, 1 goal to his name already. A goal kick to Sunderland, which Thomas Sorensen will take. We'll bring in Darren Griffiths. Darren, impressions so far the first 8 minutes?
Well, very much as we expected, Graham. It's pretty scrappy, isn't it? Neither side can get the fluency or the creativity that they need to break through. Two sides who are on current good form. If you look at our last 2 wins, there's no space for Kevin Campbell and Francis Jeffers. There's no space for Niall Quinn and Kevin Kilbane at the other end of the field. So it's not a bad start, still 0-0.
Well, Sunderland have a free kick. Stephen Lodge is not happy where they are taking the free kick from, so he makes sure the ball goes back to the correct spot. It's McCann with it, the former Everton player. Floats it inside the Everton 18-yard box. Niall Quinn's there, and out of his goal comes Paul Gerrard. A good take, looks up and launches this downfield. Kevin Campbell and Francis Jeffers on the take. It's 3 against 2 in favour of Sunderland. Don Hutchison in strongly, wins it and finds Nick Barmby. Barmby forward, looking for Campbell. The offside flag is up. It's against Kevin Campbell, the player with the most offsides in the Premiership to date. There's 1 more to the tally. Campbell just caught in an offside position But you can see Paul Gerrard had no hesitation, and as soon as he caught that ball, he was going to launch it downfield, looking for Campbell and Jeffers, because Francis Jeffers, lightning fast, cause any defence any sort of problems. Unfortunately, Kevin Campbell just strayed into an offside position, so free kick to Sunderland. Here's Niall Quinn, now David Unsworth. Unsworth just takes a touch and plays it forward, comes off a red and white shirt, back it goes to Unsworth, and back it goes up towards the Sunderland half of the pitch. Now a play for a throw-in to the visitors, which Chris Makin will take. Finds Kilbane, forward again from Makin. Not a good ball away by David Unsworth. Here's John Collins, just loses out to Gavin McCann. Chance for Alec Roy. Now Michael Gray, left hand side, running at Nick Barbie, who's playing in that right hand midfield role. Prefers to play on the left, but playing down the right today. Here's Stefan Schwartz, skips past Barbie's challenge, finds Kilbane, the former West Brom player. Off Richard Dunn, out of play, throw in to Sunderland. Danger for the Blues, they have some defending to do. As Michael Gray just gets hold of the ball, takes a throw in quickly. Here is Kilbane, back to goal, and back it goes to Michael Gray. Takes a touch, comes in field, in with the right foot and away by David Weir. Here's Campbell, midway inside his own half, back to his skipper Hutchison, now to Barnby, under pressure, finds Kevin Campbell, who was caught late with Barnby. That's a fine ball from Kevin Campbell. Now Mark Cambridge is away, past one challenge, can he get past the second? Was he brought down? No, says the referee. Fans are out of the seats behind Thomas Sorensen's goal, but it was a fine ball from Kevin Campbell in the first place. With his left foot found Mark Cambridge, but Cambridge just didn't have the pace to get past the two Sunderland defenders, but Everton have it. Now Hutchison, Richard Dunn on the overlap, Hutchison uses him, now Dunn forward to Barnby. Is there too much on it? Barnby just about keeps it in, and Steve Bold finds the red and white shirt of Michael Gray. And now the play it goes from Everton players. John Hutchison closes Michael Gray down very quickly. Everton have a throw in 5 yards from the right hand corner flag, as Everton have it. In comes the cross, it's deep, it's looking for Mark Cambridge, he's not going to get on the end of that. And out of play it goes for a throw-in to Sunderland. Well, Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Alan Shearer has scored for Newcastle. So they are the latest scores in the Premiership at the moment. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0, Alan Shearer. And of course Leeds 0, Leicester City 1, Tony Cottee the goal scorer for Leicester. As Mark Cambridge has it now, Unsworth with the cross, looking for Nick Barnby. Away by Michael Gray, Richard Dunn should be first to it. Nice little touch, finds Don Hutchison. Here's Barnby. A couple of touches to Richard Dunn, right hand side. Forward it goes from Richard Dunn. The intended party is Don Hutchison, just too much on it from the Irishman. And behind it goes for the goal kick to Sunderland. Been a promising start to the game. 13 minutes nearly gone this first half. Both sides showing a lot of commitment, a lot of passion. Sunderland, of course, third in the Premiership. Everton currently lying 11th.
I'll tell you what, Graham, it's an interesting point that Kevin Phillips is not playing. I was relieved to see that Kevin Phillips was not on the Sunderland starting lineup. No disrespect to Kevin Kilbane, who's obviously a fine player, but he's not been at Sunderland an awful long time. He's plied his trade out wide more often than not with West Bromwich Albion. He's not a natural centre forward, and although Niall Quinn will cause havoc in the air all afternoon, I'm really pleased that Kevin Phillips is not there.
Oh, he just broke off as Kevin Campbell goes through. He was brought down by Steve Bold, but the offside flag was up as soon as the flick on from Francis Jeffers. The touch off Jeffers' head, and the offside flag from our assistant referee was up, and Kevin Campbell was in an offside position, and the foul which was committed will not stand because he'd already strayed into an offside position. So an interesting couple of minutes here at Goodison Park. Sunderland just on the back foot at the moment, as Richard Dunn does well to try and find John Collins, but the tackles are going in thick and fast. Will Stephen Lodge take any action? No. He's an experienced referee. He's refereed 10 games so far this season, and in those 10 games we've seen 39 yellow cards and 3 red, with an average of 4.2 cards per game. As yet, nothing's been shown, and the tackles, Darren Griffiths, have been going in thick and fast. But as Everton come forward, it's with Kevin Campbell. Chance for Campbell now, right-hand side, just inside the 18-yard box. Needs support. He's looking for it, gets it. In comes the cross from Richard Dunn. The flick on from Hutchison. Nearly found the blue shirt of Francis Jeffers. In strongly again is Richard Dunn. Ball bobbles about, and Sunderland can break with Stefan Schwartz. He just about keeps it in. Nick Barnby closes him down quickly. Michael Gray forward. appeals from the Everton defence for offside, none given by the assistant referee. So play continues. It's Alec Roy. But that's a poor ball, and Mark Pembridge just intercepts it, but his touch just lets him down and gives the ball straight back to Sunderland's Chris Makin. Now Roy again. Back to Butler, forward from Butler. David Weir's underneath it and wins it well. Now Gavin McCann. First touch just lets him down, gets a little kick from Don Hutchison. And back to Michael Gray in that left back role. Forward it goes. Unsworth underneath it. Here is Mark Pembridge, now to Unsworth. Again forward from Unsworth, first time, looking for the pace of Francis Jeffers. Left-hand side of the 18-yard box. Infield it goes to Pembridge. Pembridge gets a touch, there's Hutchison! And there's the first goal of the game! Beautifully played by Everton. Lovely ball in from Mark Pembridge. And John Hutchison was in the right place at the right time to score the first goal of the game. 15 minutes gone of this Premiership game. John Hutchison has opened the scoring. It's Everton 1, Sunderland 0. Well done, Hutchison. Beautiful goal. Lovely ball from Mark Pembridge. It was Francis Jeffers in the first place who found Pembridge. Pembridge just rolled it into the 18-yard box. And there's Don Hutchison to slot the ball past Thomas Sorensen, and it puts the Blues 1-0 up. Michael Gray, long ball forward. And free kick goes Sunderland's way. Don Hutchison, the man who scored the first goal in this game, the perfect start for the Blues. They have some defending to do at the moment. Sunderland have a free kick. Nicky Summerby standing over it. In the 18-yard box it goes. Here's Pembridge away, looking for Kevin Campbell. And out of play it goes for a throw-in to Sunderland. Archie Knox is quickly out of his seat in the dugout. Has a quiet word with Kevin Campbell. Obviously passing on some sort of instructions to the Everton centre forward as Sorensen plays the ball forward. Wynn wins it in the air. Paul Gerrard's slow to react, but gets there eventually. Richard Goff and David Weir were looking for the Everton goalkeeper to come and claim that. He eventually did. Darren Griffiths, great goal by Don Hutchison.
Oh, brilliant goal, and nothing less than we deserved. It's just really the same side that played against Exeter City in midweek, but you know, I had a feeling this would happen. We've got a tendency to raise our game against the bigger sides. We were obviously a bit lethargic against Exeter City. You can't help complacency creeping in. People are only human. But this afternoon it's been a great start. A point you made earlier about the challenges flying in thick and fast. We are trying to make ourselves first to every second ball, and at the moment it's coming off, and that was a lovely move. Sunderland are no mugs at the back. They've got a good defensive record. We undone them, stripped them bare, and a great finish by Don Hutchison. Good start for the Blues.
But we must build on this start. Don Hutchison, his third goal of the current campaign. His goal separates the two sides. It's Everton 1, Sunderland 0. Don Hutchison, the goal scorer. As the ball finds Kevin Campbell, the club's leading goal scorer, with 8 goals. Plays it to number 8, Nick Barmby. Out of play for an Everton throw. It's Richard Dunn playing at right back. Finds Hutchison. Dunn has it once again. Alex Roy slides in, just touches the ball out of play for an Everton throw-in. Everton looking for the second goal. They have a throw-in. Midway inside the Sunderland half on this right-hand side. Richard Dunn launches it inside the 18-yard box. McCann's there for Sunderland. Away by Michael Gray. Richard Goss underneath it. Here's David Weir, just slips on the turf. And the ball's with Niall Quinn. Now Richard Dunn in strongly. Finds John Collins and back to Richard Goff. Goff just takes a second, has a look, and plays the ball into the path of Kevin Campbell. His ball to Nick Barmby was not the best. And Sunderland have it with Stephen Schwartz. Here's Kildane with a bit of space just inside the Everton half. Now Nicky Summerby looking for a red and white shirt. Finds it for Stephen Schwartz. The touch just lets him down, but with enough time and space to regain possession. Ball forward, looking for Niall Quinn. It's like a ping pong at the moment. Every ball is being aimed in at Niall Quinn. He's certainly had a busy afternoon as the big Irishman. No Kevin Phillips, the leading goal scorer with 19 goals. He's not playing today, not being risked by Peter Reid. I spoke to him just before the game. Reason is he's got a slight hamstring injury. And of course, on a cold day like today, a tear could mean 6 or 7 weeks out, and he doesn't want that. He'd rather rest him and make sure that he's 100% fit. So no Kevin Phillips, 19 goals he scored this season so far. We're only in December. He's not playing. Niall Quinn and Kevin Kildane are playing up front for Sunderland. At the moment, it's Everton 1, Sunderland 0. Don Hutchison The Newcastle fan as a boy has scored the only goal of the game.
Just thinking there, Graham, taking the lead hasn't really been a problem for Everton this season. It's holding on to the lead, preserving the lead, and even going so far as to build on it. Of course, we took the lead at Old Trafford, didn't we? We took the lead against Middlesbrough up at the Riverside. We took the lead umpteen times against Leeds. We were leading against Chelsea. These are games that we were ahead in that we didn't win. I just hope that this promising start that we've shown so far, and the determination and the commitment we've shown so far will hold out and see us through.
We've got a long way to go. We've only had 20 minutes of this first half, but it's promising. Everton leading by a goal to nil, as Darren Griffith says. We had no problem scoring goals and scoring the first goal of the game. I recall going to Middlesbrough, Everton taking the lead after a couple of minutes there. Old Trafford as well. We've seen it against Coventry here at Goodison. There's a long ball forward looking for Niall Quinn. Niall Quinn got his head to the ball. Richard Goff felt he was being fouled. He had a push in the back. Stephen Lodge just acknowledges. Waves play on because the ball is back with Paul Gerrard, who first time looks up, sees Kevin Campbell, who again can't win it in the air against Paul Butler. The ball bobbles about and John Collins tries to get it back to Richard Dunn. Here is Dunn, just comes off his shin, the old-fashioned up and under, looking for Kevin Campbell, does well and finds Nick Barmby. He's looking for Francis Jeffers. This is a chance for Francis Jeffers. He's past Sorensen. Can Jeffers finish it off? Pulls it across the face of the goal. Can't find a blue shirt. And the chance goes begging for Everton, where Francis Jeffers will be annoyed with himself. The ball just skidded away from him. He got round the goalkeeper, but there were plenty of red and white shirts back behind the ball as Francis Jeffers was able to just skip past the goalkeeper, just took it in his stride, looks up, was looking for a blue shirt, but unfortunately couldn't find one. It would have been nice for that to go into the back of the net, but Darren Griffiths, another opportunity for the Blues. It would have been nice to go 2-0 up.
Another great move again, lovely layoff from Kevin Campbell. He really does give us this extra option that's been missing from our game in the last few seasons. He holds the ball up, his layoffs, his first time layoffs are excellent, and the likes of Barmby and Jeffers can capitalise on them time and time again. Francis done everything right there. He capitalised on what was a slight defensive error by the Sunderland lad Paul Butler, but just forced a little bit too wide by Sorensen, and really the pullback, it was 50-50 who it came to, and we didn't get the rub of the green. It was cleared by Sunderland.
Everton have a throw in. David Unsworth looking again for Francis Jeffers. Lovely little touch from Jeffers, and Everton are putting all sorts of pressure on Sunderland at the moment, and they just about Sunderland get the ball clear, and then nearly commit suicide again by playing it back to Michael Gray. Hutchison in strongly, ball runs off Hutchison's leg out of play for a throw in to the visitors, who at the moment are at 6s and 7s at the back. I'm sure Steve Bowl will be looking and passing on all his experience to his back four, but just in the last few minutes they're being dragged all over Goodison Park. The final game of the millennium here. Everton will be looking to go out with the 3 points and a good performance and a good win. At the moment, they're leading by a goal to nil. Don Hutchison, the goal scorer for the Blues, his third goal of the season. As Richard Dunn just sets himself up for the throw-in. There's Barmby, now looking for Richard Dunn once again. Loses out, and Alex Roy has it for Sunderland. Hutchison in strongly and Furley. As David Unsworth looks for John Collins. Collins just gets it back to Nick Barmby, who flicks it forward for Hutchison once again. Here is Kevin Campbell. As all people, John Collins on that right-hand side. Infield to Barmby. Now Everton coming forward in numbers. It's Hutchison. Feeds it through to Jeffers. And Jeffers, well, if he would have left it for Nick Barmby would have surely been through to put Everton 2-0 up. Lovely move again from the Blues. Nearly the second goal of the game. As Summerby looks up and finds Michael Gray, who has a lot of space on this left-hand side, something we spoke about earlier. As Gray's cross comes in, Don Hutchison's there, wins the ball for Everton, into the feet of Nick Barmby. Now Richard Dunn just turns and hooks the ball clear. Not the best of clearances, gives it straight back to Stefan Schwartz, who's got a fine left foot on him. Here's Michael Gray once again, likes to get forward, but Nick Barmby back on defensive duties. As Steve Bowl just nips in and steals the ball away from Kevin Campbell. Weir felt he was being held. Play on, says Stephen Lodge. Ball bobbles around. Here's Pembridge, does well. Referee blows his whistle against Mark Pembridge. Free kick goes Sunderland's way. Stephen Lodge, highly experienced Premiership referee. Of course, all referees nowadays have the earpiece on so they can talk to their assistant referees, or the linesmen. They are, of course, officially classed as the assistants. Sunderland have a free kick, something they'll be looking to plenty of red and white shirts forward with Sunderland. Summerby decides to leave it. Now here's Stefan Schwartz. Now Nick Summerby operates on that right-hand side of midfield, looking to get past Mark Pembridge. He does get past Pembridge, feeds the ball forward, gets the return as well. But Pembridge in strongly, wins the ball back. Now can Barnby do something with it? Play on, says Stephen Lodge, because Barnby fouled Chris Makin. And the ball is back with Paul Butler. Well, the Sunderland bench weren't too happy with the Barnby challenge. Sorensen launches it forward. Richard Goff's underneath it. Not the best of headers from Richard Goff. Appeals for handball. Pembridge does well. Here is Francis Jeffers, but the whistle has gone by Stephen Lodge. The free kick is going to go Everton's way for the handball by Alex Roy. Well, Darren Griffiths, this game has come to life.
It certainly has, and I tell you what, Don Hutchison's up for this one, isn't he? He was born in Gateshead, he was a Newcastle United fan, as you said earlier, Graham, as a boy. These are his rivals, these are his traditional old rivals. He'll want to do well against them, and my word, he's dictating everything in the middle third of the field. He's fighting for every ball as if his very life depending on it, and himself and John Collins are winning the ball. It's giving us the fraction of...
It's Hutchison with the shot, there's Hutchison's goal! What a goal from Don Hutchison! A superb strike from all of 25 yards out. The ball came to Hutchison and he hit it with his right foot, and it flew past Thomas Sorensen in the Sunderland goal. The keeper didn't stand a chance, and Don Hutchison finds the back of the net for the second time this afternoon. It's Everton who are leading here at Goodison Park by 2 goals to 0. It's Everton 2, Sunderland 0. And Don Hutchison has scored both goals. Newcastle fan as a boy, an Everton player as a man, playing against his rivals from years ago, and he scored 2 goals. Will he get a hat-trick? And Everton are leading by 2 goals to 0. That's all that matters at the moment. As the ball goes back to Paul Gerrard in the Everton goal. What a fine finish, Darren Griffiths, from Don Hutchison.
Well, we had a perfect view of that, didn't we? As soon as Don Hutchison connected with his right foot, Thomas Sorensen needn't have bothered, because that was only going one place, that was the back of the net. Peter Reid is concerned enough to leave his place in the director's box to come down here and join Mick Buxton and Adrian Heath on the bench. It might be too late for Reid. He's got a good managerial record here. He's struggling this afternoon, 2 goals down, 2 excellent goals, but there's a candidate for goal of the month from Don Hutchison, no mistake about it.
Well, it was a fine finish, right foot of Don Hutchison, past Thomas Sorensen. As Darren says, Peter Reid has seen enough. He's made his way down from the director's box, and he's back in the dugout area, and he's going to be screaming and shouting, I'm sure, towards his Sunderland players. A former Everton player of years gone by. He's here at Goodison Park for many a season, won every honour that he could with the club. He's manager of Sunderland, and I'm sure he's not best pleased with the performance so far of his Sunderland side. We've had 27 minutes of this first half. Don Hutchison's just received a boot to the face from Alex Roy, and Alex Roy is pleading with the referee. Hutchison taking a bad knock to the face. Stephen Lodge now comes across to have a look. Steve Hardwick quickly on the pitch. The goal scorer, he scored both goals so far, has Don Hutchison. He's receiving treatment from Steve Hardwick. The foot was certainly high from the Sunderland midfield. That pleaded his innocence with Stephen Lodge. Lodge didn't have his... Well, he was a couple of yards away from the incident. A nasty gash to Hutchison's face, to the side of his head. Steve Hardwick just applying the old Vaseline and making sure the Everton skipper is okay. Richie Goff is there, making sure everything's okay as well. Darren Griffiths, the foot was high. Maybe the referee may take some sort of action.
It doesn't look as if he will, Stephen Lodge. He didn't blow straight away. Normally when there's an incident like that, the referee blows straight away. But again, just as the goal, we had a perfect view of things here from our position in the dugout. Hutchison stooped his head to head the ball. Alec Roy came in, his foot was certainly high, and that's a nasty gash in the right hand side of Don Hutchison's head. We're just looking at the monitor now, it's covered in Vaseline. He won't want to go off. You'll have to shoot Don Hutchison to take him off today, I tell you, but that might well need stitching at half time.
Don Hutchison just shakes the hand of Alex Roy. Hutchison was quite happy. I think Hutchison realised that he had gone in with his head, and it was one of those decisions which went Everton's way. They got the free kick. The ball's been played forward by David Weir. Kilbane battles with Richard Dunn, plenty of blue shirts defending. And Kilbane's ball, his intended ball to Nicky Summerby, not the best. Out of play, throw in to Everton. Everton leading by 2 goals to 0 in the Premiership so far. Leicester City are 1-0 up away at Leeds United, and Newcastle are leading by a goal to 0 at home to Liverpool. Alan Shearer has scored for Newcastle. Sunderland come forward. Nick Summerby has it now for Sunderland on the right hand side. Pembridge in strongly. Ball out of play, throw in to the visitors. So, interesting. Everton leading by 2-0. Peter Reid has come to join us in the heart of the dugout. Sunderland have it. Makin forward looking for Summerby. Niall Quinn's inside the 18-yard box. A good turn by Quinn. Looking for the penalty. The referee waves play on. Well, there were a few shakes of the heads from the Sunderland substitutes. And of course, Niall Quinn himself can't believe that has not been given his way. Very interesting decision. Was he being cowed or did he fall? I think the latter. He was looking for it and didn't get it. Good refereeing by Stephen Lodge, as we said. A very experienced Premiership referee. It's Paul Gerrard, just sets himself up for this clearance. Looking for Kevin Campbell again. Once again, Paul Butler is there. I don't think Kevin Campbell's actually won a ball in the air. Scoreline coming in from St James's Park. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 1. Michael Owen has scored for Liverpool. It's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 1. Michael Owen for Liverpool. Here at Goodison Park, it's Everton 2, Sunderland 0. Don Hutchison with both goals for the Blues. Free kick to Sunderland, promising position. Nick Summerby standing over it. Plenty of red and white shirts forward. Referee is looking for Sunderland to get on with this. Waves his hand, and again Niall Quinn's the target. Shot comes in from Gavin McCann. Paul Gerrard still has a bit of work to do and just has to palm that one behind for the corner to Sunderland. I think that's Sunderland's first corner of the game. So Everton has some defending to do. Half an hour gone, 31 minutes to be precise, of this Premiership game here at Goodison Park. Everton lead by 2-0. Have some defending to do as Sunderland have a corner. Everton defending the Gladys Street end as the ball swung in away by Richard Dunn. Chance for Stefan Schwartz on the left foot, straight into the arms of Paul Gerrard. He's got a fine left foot, has Stefan Schwartz. Hit that crisply, but Paul Gerrard was there. Didn't quite take it on the first attempt, just let the ball bounce and was able to pick it up in the second attempt. Leeds have drawn level against Leicester. Michael Bridges has scored the equalising goal for Leeds United. Looks as if Sunderland are about to make a substitution. McBarby, the Everton player, playing in midfield, unable to do anything with that, so he had to put it out of play. Throw in to Samovic, quickly taken. Here is Steve Bold. Sunderland are about to make a substitution. Richard Goff wins it in the air. Gavin McCann just hooks it forward, looking for Nick Summerby. David Unsworth and Summerby both battle over on that right-hand side. And Unsworth who got the better of the two players. Strong, aggressive player is David Unsworth. So substitution is about to be made. So, coming off is Alex Roy. Coming on is number 18, Darren Williams. Well, Alex Roy did have a fitness test before this game. Unable to take any further part in the game. So Alex Roy has come off. And Williams has come on. Now Richard Dunn underneath it, does well because he had Niall Quinn breathing down his neck. Williams' first touch finds Gray. Williams is calling for it again. Gray decides to go to Gavin McCann, and McCann has to go back to Steve Bold, who's midway inside his own half. Looks up, launches it, looking for Niall Quinn. David Weir wins it in the air, and David Unsworth just about gets a foot on the ball. He was calling for Paul Gerrard to come and get it, and Paul Gerrard could be in trouble because that went straight out of his 18-yard box. And the goalkeeper carried the ball out of his 18-yard box. Stephen Lodge is running across to the assistant referee to have a quiet word. Stephen Lodge, what will he do? He's going across to the edge of the 18-yard box. Just signals that it's going to be a free kick to Sunderland. Well, Paul Gerrard is a lucky goalkeeper. Possibly sent off there. Everton have some defending to do. It's a free kick to Sunderland on the edge of the 18-yard box, right-hand side. In comes the ball. Quinn's underneath it, over and behind for a goal kick. Well, Darren Griffiths. Paul Gerrard caught the ball inside his 18-yard box. Did he release it before he actually went out of his own 18-yard box?
Do you know what? I don't think he did. I watched it on the monitor because people in front of me were standing up on the Sunderland bench, and I tell you what, he had hold of the ball when he first grabbed it. He was inside the box. We're just going to have another look now at that headed clearance. When he had hold of the ball, He was inside the box. When he released it, he was outside the box. Everton were worried enough, Archie Knox and Dave Watson just in front of us, to send Steve Simonton out for a precautionary warm-up. And I've seen goalkeepers sent off for that. Billy Stewart at Southport last season did exactly the same thing at Rushden and Diamonds in the 3rd minute of the game and got sent off. Paul's a lucky lad.
Well, Stephen Lodge opted not even to book him, but he was very lucky because the Sunderland bench reacted. They were looking, everyone was looking, and as Darren says, Steve Simonton was told to go and warm up. That's how concerned Everton were. As Jeffers has it, right-hand side, finds Richard Dunn back towards Jeffers. Too much out of the game from Richard Dunn. The ball's still in play, just trickles over the line now for a throw into Sunderland. But Everton just have taken the foot off the gas in the last 5 minutes, leading by 2 goals to nil. 10 minutes remaining in this first half. The Blues looking for goal number 3. It would be nice before half-time. Really would kill the game off. Ball forward from Sunderland. Richie Goff's underneath it as the rain pours down inside Goodison Park. It's going to make playing conditions very slippery underfoot. As Collins in. Throw-in goes Sunderland's way. John Collins, the Scotland international, in the heart of the Everton midfield. In fact, it's a free kick to Sunderland. Michael Gray stands over it. Again, I'm sure Niall Quinn will be the target. Forward it goes. Ball bobbles around. Paul Gerrard comes and collects. Again, he's a little bit hesitant as Paul Gerrard to come and get the ball. It's the second occasion now which he's just stood there. The back 4 have been looking for the goalkeeper to come and collect. Eventually comes and gets hold of it as the rain comes down inside Goodison Park. 2-0 the Blues lead. Long ball forward again. Campbell wins it in the air against Paul Butler. Can Francis Jeffers get on the end of it? No, he can't. Mark Pembridge is unable to do anything with it. Nick Summerby back towards Butler. Looks up. Again looking for Quinn. Richard Goff wins it. With a little push in the back from Niall Quinn. So free kick goes Everton's way. Niall Quinn certainly had a busy afternoon. Everything that Sunderland have done, they've thrown it Niall Quinn's way. As Peter Reid says, best forward in the Premiership at the moment in his opinion. 33 years of age is Niall Quinn, former Arsenal man, now applying his trade at the Stadium of Light. Here's Barnby, right-hand side, the Everton midfield, finds Hutchison. Hutchison back to Barnby. It's cast Michael Gray, comes his cross left-footed, takes a touch, comes off a Sunderland player, and Thomas Sorensen at the second attempt was able to just claw that ball into his arms and release it quickly. John Collins has a bit of work to do and finds David Unsworth. Now back to Collins, under pressure. Gets the ball back, nice play by John Collins and Everton, but just gives it away and gets it back, loses out and wins the free kick for the challenge by Gavin McCann. It's as if the... In fact, no, it's not. It's Kevin Kilbane. Gavin McCann just walks away. Kilbane is the player to go into the referee's notebook. So the free kick goes Everton's way, just inside the Sunderland half. Everton push Richard Goff forward. David Unsworth standing over it, hands on hips. Launches it now, looking for Kevin Campbell. Is he having his shirt pulled? Ball breaks and away by Butler. Richard Dunn forward. Nick Summerby just able to get hold of the ball, but can't control it. And they'll play for a throw into the Blues. David Unsworth with the throw-in. There's Collins. Flicks it forward, looking for Campbell. Now Hutchison, 2 goals to his name already. David Weir under pressure from Niall Quinn. Just about got the ball to Richard Dunn. Richard Dunn now charges forward down this right-hand side. Ball just breaks off Michael Gray. Out of play, throw-in to Everton. 38 minutes gone of this first half. The Blues leading by 2 goals to nil. Richard Dunn with the throw-in. Finds Nick Barnby. Now back to Richard Dunn. Another throw into the Blues. Michael Gray able to just get his left foot in front of Richard Dunn. Throw in the result. Richard Dunn launching inside that 18-yard box, looking for Campbell. Was Campbell being fouled? Cries from the crowd of yes. Stephen Lodge says no. Hutchison now to Richard Goff. Forward looking for Kevin Campbell. Just too much on it from Richard Goff. And Sunderland are able to break. With Maitkin forward now to Summerby. Niall Quinn calls for it. 2 blue shirts standing alongside Quinn. Away by Richard Dunn. Pembridge tries to win the ball back for the Blues, unable to do so. But Collins has it now. Now to Pembridge. Back towards Don Hutchison. Skips past one challenge. Here comes Hutchison for Everton. Inside the Sunderland half. Looks for Campbell. Campbell finds Pembridge. Pembridge to Jeffers. He's onside. Is Francis Jeffers. Tries a crack at goal. Well, it's a good 6 or 7 yards wide of Thomas Sorenson's left-hand post. But again, another fine move, Darren Griffiths, by the Blues.
Another fine move, as you say, and another fine move started by Don Hutchison superbly well to win in the middle of the field. Francis Jeffers, he was a bit ambitious from the edge of the penalty area. I know what he was trying to do, pull his shot across the face of goal, but it's very, very encouraging. If we can hold out now, Graham, for the final 5 minutes and go in at the break 2 goals up, then surely we'll hold on to it. We were 2-0 up against Watford at Vicarage Road in the last Premiership game that we played. We didn't succumb to Watford, but we they pulled it back to 2-1. There's another dreadful challenge on John Collins. Can will go here, he's got to.
I think Gavin McCann could be in trouble because Stephen Lodge is quickly across to the ex-Everton player. It was a late challenge on John Collins. As the referee goes across, Richard Goff is trying to calm the situation down. And what action will Stephen Lodge take? The yellow card is being shown to Gavin McCann. So the card goes to the former Everton player, £500,000 signing, of course, last November, signed by Peter Reid, the day after Duncan Ferguson went to Newcastle. As the ball's been played forward, a wasted free kick, but Everton have it back with Hutchison. Now John Collins has it just inside the Sunderland half, back to Richard Goff. He's able to skip past a couple of challenges. Here is Goff looking for Jeffers, that's a fine ball, chance for Francis Jeffers, it's 3-0! Francis Jeffers scores his 6th goal of the season. 3-0 Everton lead. Francis Jeffers, fine ball from Richard Goff, who latched onto it to Jeffers and was able to steer the ball past Thomas Sorensen, and that's the perfect finish to this second half. We've got 4 minutes to go. It was a fine ball by Richard Goff, and Jeffers latched onto it. The keeper was well out of his goal, and into the back of the Sunderland net goes Everton's 3rd goal. It's Everton 3, Sunderland 0. So Francis Jeffers, goal number 6 for him this season. And Jeffers puts the Blues 3-0 up, and we were talking about the 3rd goal, how important it would be, or how nice it would be for a 3rd goal, or even to stay 2-0 up, with currently 3 goals to 0 up. And I think Peter Reid, Darren Griffiths, will be a worried man. He's standing there, doesn't look very happy at the moment. As the former Everton player, I'm just looking at him, he doesn't look best pleased at the moment. But Darren Griffiths, Peter Reid, not happy, but Everton, Walter Smith will be over the moon.
Peter Reid will be extremely annoyed with that 3rd goal. I tell you what, you said before that at 6s and 7s they're not even that good at the back anymore. It's just like a hot knife through butter. It's an old cliche. A ball-storming run from Richard Goff straight through the middle of the Sunderland defence. Teed it up nicely for Francis Jeffers. Lovely finish, but what superb approach play by the ageless Richard Goff.
I was going to say, Richard Goff, what a fine ball. I mean, he's found himself so far forward throughout the game. He's been looking to get forward at every opportunity. A great ball to Jeffers.
He always looks to get forward. The promising thing was, the pleasing thing was, in that situation, he created the space himself by winning the ball in the first place. Dummied 1 or 2 challenges in the middle of the park and set it for Francis Jeffers. But he's always been known as a coaching centre-half, as Richard Goff. He's always been known as a footballing centre-half. When he was at Tottenham, when he was with Glasgow Rangers, he's not just a stopper at the heart of the defence, even though he'll sweat blood for the cause. He's a good footballing centre-half. And there's 40-odd thousand spectators here now that will agree with me.
Well, here is Jeffers, scored goal number 3 for the Blues. Hutchison over the top, looking for Kevin Campbell. He wants to get in on the act as well, but that's back with Thomas Sorensen, the Danish international, able to just bounce the ball a couple of times. Wearing his tracksuit trousers. It's a cold day at Goodison Park. Boxing Day here. Perfect Christmas present this will be for Walter Smith's side, if they can carry on in this vein in the second half. I mean, we've already seen 3 goals so far. A couple more in the second half would be great. With a perfect Christmas present. The ball is just being bandied around the midfield area at the moment. It's like head tennis. As Kevin Campbell wins it in the air. And fairly, says Stephen Lodge. Hangs on hips from the Everton striker. Shake of the head. He feels that was a bit harsh from the referee, but Sunderland have taken the free kick and they've taken it quickly. Niall Quinn wins it in the air. Here's Kilbane, just plays it off David Weir. Everton have some defending to do. Stefan Schwartz. Hutchison goes in to close the Sunderland player down, who is Michael Gray. Here is Maitkin to McCann. Forward to Niall Quinn, edge of the Everton 18-yard box. running at Richard Goff. Can't get past him. Nick Barnby in strongly. Was he fouled? Yes, says Stephen Lodge. We're into the final minutes of this first half. We're just waiting for the fourth official to show us how long is remaining of this first 45 minutes. I'm sure we'll see at least 2 minutes of injury time because, of course, Don Hutchison did receive treatment for that cut to just above his left eye. And just looking at the fourth official who's just standing in front of our commentary position. He's holding the board just in front of him and he's just adding the actual numbers which he's being told to by the referee. And as he walks towards the touchline and shows 1 minute of injury time. So we have 1 minute of added on time to play in this game as Campbell shoots, and that's not far away from Kevin Campbell. Well, Kevin Campbell's already scored 8 goals this season, looking for goal number 9, and he wasn't too far away on that occasion. 1 minute of added on time to be played in this first half. We've already had 10 seconds. Stephen Lodge, our match official today from South Yorkshire. As the ball's been played forward from Thomas Sorensen. It's a flick on, in fact, from Richard Goff. Nearly set up Kevin Kilbane. Paul Gerrard quickly out of his goal. Couple of bounces of the ball. Everton number 1. As he now locks up and launches it downfield. Again looking for Kevin Campbell. Can Campbell win it in the end? Yes, he does against Steve Bold. Away by Butler. Out of play for a throw into the Blues. The ball just finds itself in the family enclosure, just in front of our commentary position. We're right on halfway line here at Goodison Park. As Campbell wins it again and was looking for Francis Jeffers. As Campbell in strongly, Steve Bold just had enough about him. There is the half-time whistle. Everton are leading by 3 goals to 0. 2 goals from Don Hutchison, who scored the first with a delightful shot past Thomas Sorensen after a lovely break by Everton. It was a fine ball from Mark Pembridge. Pembridge played the ball across into the path of Hutchison, who stroked the ball past Sorensen. Then just a few minutes later, it was a fine shot from Hutchison as the ball broke to him and he fired a shot past Thomas Sorensen, who didn't even stand a chance. He didn't even see it, to be all honest. And then the third goal was from, of course, no other than Francis Jeffers. Jeffers' 6th goal of the season. Lovely ball from Richard Goff, who had actually set the goal up by skipping past 3 challenges and was able to bring the ball and fed the ball through to Francis Jeffers. Jeffers then was able to just take the ball on and slot the ball past Thomas Sorensen. 3 goals to 0 the Blues lead here at half-time. Fine first half performance from Everton. Looking forward to the second. Hopefully the Blues can go on and score a couple more goals and have that perfect Christmas present for Walter Smith and the thousands of Evertonians who are inside Goodison Park watching this Boxing Day game. Half-time score, it's Everton 3, Sunderland 0. Score, of course, a couple more goals this afternoon. Sunderland have made a substitution. Michael Reddy is on, and he'll be playing up front, and off is Michael Gray. So Sunderland have gone for it. They've put a centre forward on for a left back. It'll be interesting to see how Sunderland approach this second half. Peter Reid, I'm sure, has had a few words with his Sunderland side as the game, well, the second half is underway. Sunderland attacking the Park End stand, Everton attacking the Gladys Street end in this second half. The Blues leading by 3 goals to 0. So Michael Reddy, 3 substitute appearances already so far for the 19-year-old from Kilkenny. £30,000 signing by Peter Reid in the summer. And he's on in place of Michael Gray. Interesting to see how Sunderland now set themselves up for this second half. Richard Dunn under pressure has to go back to Richard Goff, who plays the ball upfield and gives it away. Chance for Sunderland to have an early attack on Paul Gerrard's goal. Alex Cleland has been told to go and warm up as well. As Williams is about to take this throw in for Sunderland. Midway inside the Everton half, right hand side, quickly taken. Sowerby back to Williams. Well, asked Darren Griffiths very shortly how Sunderland have reshaped in this second half, as Michael Reddy has gone up front alongside Niall Quinn. There was talk of Reddy playing some sort of part in this game. There was talk of him actually playing in place of Quinn, but no Kevin Phillips, so Niall Quinn's playing today. Ball breaks off Mark Pembridge. It's going to be a throw-in to Sunderland, which again Williams will take. And on it goes to Niall Quinn's head, and plenty of bodies inside the Everton 18-yard box. Well, Darren Griffiths, I've given you a couple of minutes. How have Sunderland reshaped?
Well, there's players seem to be playing with 3 across the back, 4 across the back, and obviously Michael Gray, who gave them the width on the left-hand side in the first half, has now been removed, and up front they're going to play with 3 up front. Niall Quinn will be up front with Kevin Kilban, and Michael Reddy, I'm sure, will join in the attacks as well. It's all or nothing now for Sunderland. They're 3-0 down, and I'll tell you what, they pulled this back. There'll be some celebrations tonight.
Well, there's Kevin Campbell, doesn't win it against Steve Bold. Pembridge now has the ball at his feet, looking for David Unsworth. Unsworth just gets too far in front of the ball, plays it down that left-hand touchline, out of play for a throw-in to the Blues. Everton leading by 3 goals to 0. Don Hutchison scored twice, and a goal from Francis Jeffers. Forward it goes inside the Sunderland 18-yard box. Easy take for Thomas Sorensen. He just drops the ball to his feet. Peter Reid, the Sunderland manager, I'm sure is not too happy with the way things are going at present. I'm sure he'll be looking for much better things in this second half from his side. It's Kevin Campbell back to goal, midway inside the Sunderland half. First time ball from John Collins, looking for Mark Pembridge. Sorensen comes and has to clear quite quickly because Francis Jeffers was underneath it. This is a chance for Sunderland as Niall Quinn just tries to dispossess David Weir. He had to be quick as Richard Goff had missed the initial header. The ball breaks. What does the referee say? Throw in to Everton, much to the dislikement of the Sunderland players. Nicky Summerby can't believe it. So Mark Pembridge just leaves it for David Unsworth. And Unsworth will take the throw in for Everton. Left hand side finds John Collins. Forward from Unsworth, a bit of a hit and hope. Kevin Campbell on the chase. Paul Butler with him. It's now Kevin Campbell looking for support. Infield to Pembridge. Tries to get the ball back to Kevin Campbell. Does he win the throw-in? Yes, says Stephen Lodge. Well, Kevin Campbell does well to win the throw-in because he actually didn't go looking for the return ball from Pembridge. In comes the cross. There's only Francis Jeffers inside the 18-yard box. Here's Hutchison. Now to Unsworth. First time cross from Unsworth. Too much on it. And too near the goalkeeper. And it goes back to Sorensen, who quickly throws it out to Kevin Kilbane. It looks like he's slotted in on that left-hand side of midfield. That's a good challenge from David Weir, but not according to Stephen Lodge. Referee quickly across. Blows his whistle. Free kick goes Sunderland's way. Don Hutchison just pats the referee on the back. Felt it was a little bit harsh, that decision. But Sunderland have a free kick. Again, chance for all the big men to get forward. It's Gavin McCann with it, whips it in and away by Don Hutchison. Peter Reid furious with that free kick. They have it back with Stefan Schwartz. Schwartz now, the outside of his left boot finds Summerby, right hand side. Unsworth in front of him. Again, support from Stefan Schwartz, but sliding in is John Collins to give Sunderland a throw-in. So, Darren Williams, who's slotted in at right back for the second half. He's going to take the throw in for Sunderland. Looking for Niall Quinn. Behind for the corner. Richard Goff was there against Quinn. Niall Quinn is talking to Gavin McCann, saying we need better quality on the free kicks. If we can do something. And they have a corner. And it comes. Plenty of red shirts there. Onto the top of Paul Gerrard's goal. And Gavin McCann, former Everton player. Gavin and Paul will know each other quite well. I'm sure they've played a number of times in the reserves together throughout their Everton careers. Paul Gerrard is Everton's #1 and Gavin McCann playing in the heart of the Sunderland midfield. His new club signed for them last November. Playing his trade up on Weir's side. Paul Gerrard has stepped in, of course. Thomas Myler injured at the start of the season. And Paul Gerrard hasn't looked back. Everton lead 3 goals to 0 here at Goodison in this FA Carling Premiership game. Sunderland managed by former Everton player Peter Reid. He's not too happy. He's just sitting a couple of yards away to my left-hand side. And if looks could kill, this Sunderland side would have been shot 15-20 minutes ago. Unsworth clears, right-footed. Steve Bowl and Paul Butler are there. Back it goes to Thomas Sorensen. He clears, right-footed. Liverpool have taken a 2-goal-to-1 lead at Newcastle. Michael Owen's second goal of the game. David Weir has brought down the substitute Michael Reddy. We're going to see a yellow card to Weir. That's his second challenge within the space of a couple of minutes, which has gone in Sunderland's favour. Stephen Lodge shows him the yellow card. And Richard Goff, Niall Quinn, two seasoned professionals, certainly had a battle this afternoon. Now, who will take the free kick? Stefan Schwartz is standing over it. Gavin McCann is there as well. You fancy Schwartz, left-footed, just to that right-hand side. It's a good 25 yards out. And Schwartz is pointing his finger at the Everton wall. Everton have a 5-man wall. It's Schwartz with it. It comes off the Everton wall. Chance for McCann. Finds Kilbane. He leaves it in turn for Makin. Forward it goes, looking for Kilbane once again. Does he win the corner? Yes, says Stephen Lodge. So Everton has some more defending. Good little spell for Sunderland. The opening 7 minutes of this second half. Looking for a goal so they can get back into this game. Everton must defend. They must defend well. Peter Reed's shouting at his players to get inside the 18-yard box. It's all or nothing at the moment. They need something and they need it quick. So Everton have got to defend. Forward it goes from Williams. Richard Goff's there. Under pressure from Michael Reddy. Forward from McCann. Niall Quinn and David Weir. Everton are looking for the free kick. Not given by the referee. The referee now says, let's play on. Obviously he spotted the decision. Or spotted the infringement rather. And waves play on as Paul Gerrard looking for Francis Jeffers. Jeffers is not going to win that against Paul Butler. There's a fair bit of size difference. Now Kevin Campbell, it's with Pembridge. Can Pembridge get it through to either Jeffers or Campbell? Out of play, throw in to Everton. End-to-end stuff in this second half. Both sides committed. As Everton take the throw in quickly. Mark Pembridge now to David Unsworth. Unsworth looking to get the cross in. Comes off Summerby, so Everton have another throw in. Just take the time to Everton. No real urgency to take the throw in. As Mark Pembridge gets hold of the ball, just a couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline. Here's Hutchison, back to Pembridge. Not a particularly good ball. Now Pembridge gets the cross in, and it's a good one. Sorensen can't get on the end of it. It's a chance for Francis Jeffers, and he can only put it past Sorensen's left-hand post. Well, the ball suddenly just flew at him. The goalkeeper did make a meal of the Pembridge cross, and Darren Griffiths, should Francis Jeffers put Everton 4-0 up?
Well, I don't think his first touch was the greatest, so we're just having a little look on the replay monitor here at the back of the dugout. Thomas Sorensen's flapped it, Makin's miscontrolled it, Jeffers should have hit the target. Yeah, he's pulled it wide of the post. He was under pressure because Sorensen was closing down the angle very, very quickly. Francis had to snatch it. There was no way he was going to get more than a split second, and he's just toe-poked it wide of the post. But still an encouraging start for Everton. I mean, I think this game is now beyond Sunderland, but a fourth goal really would kill it off.
Well, Paul Gerrard just forced into a quick clearance. Richard Goff was again looking for Paul Gerrard to come and collect the ball, but he didn't, and the ball went back to Gerrard and he had to clear quickly as the cross comes in. Everton are looking for a free kick. Stephen Lodge says no, and the ball is all the way back with Steve Bold, who's going to go all the way back to Thomas Sorensen inside his own 18-yard box. And this is with Chris Makin, who's playing as one of the three central defenders in this second half for Sunderland. McCann, the outside of the boot, looking for Summerby. Under pressure from David Unsworth. Unsworth able to skip past Summerby. Now to Kevin Campbell. Just takes a touch, looking for support, looking for John Collins, and Nick Summerby does well, and David Unsworth's going to be in trouble for that challenge on Summerby. I think a strong word to the Everton fullback is all that is required from Stephen Lodge, much to the dislike of the Sunderland fans, but no action taken. I'm sure he does something in the next few minutes. Mr. Lodge will be producing a card because it was late from Unsworth. Summerby with the free kick, plays it left-hand side, looking for Bold. Bold wins it in the air. In comes the cross. Unsworth just gets a touch on it. Out of play it goes for a throw-in to Sunderland over on the far right-hand side. So Everton again have some defending to do. Just under pressure at the moment of the Blues. Away by Richard Goff. Nice bit of skill from John Collins. He was caught, was he, by Nick Summerby? No. It's a throw-in to Sunderland. Quickly taken. Hint of a foul throw. Would you believe it? I've never seen that before. Stefan Schwartz experienced professional. Foul throw, looking to take it a bit too quickly, Darren.
Yeah, that was a schoolboy out of that by Stefan Schwartz. It looks as if he's thrown in virtually one-handed. And there's no doubt about it, Sunderland are a little bit rattled at the moment. But as I say, if Everton can just keep plugging away, just keep it nice and tight at the back. I mean, Richard Goff and David Ray are looking impregnable this afternoon. I hope that's not going to be the kiss of death. Sunderland's best opportunity seems to be, what they're aiming to do is get the ball wide down the flanks to Nicky Summerby, particularly on this side of the field. But as I say, Everton are eating everything up that goes into the penalty area.
Well, Everton have some defending to do again. Sunderland have a throw-in on the right-hand side. It's been aimed in for Niall Quinn. John Collins skips past Niall Quinn and also skips past David Unsworth. He's under pressure and he clears right-footed. Not the best of clearances. In comes the shot. It's well wide of Paul Gerrard's goal. And it's going to be a goal kick to Everton. We've had, well, nearly 12 minutes of this second half. Sunderland have certainly been throwing everything at Everton. They need to throw everything at Everton, Darren Griffiths, because Sunderland need to get a goal in at least the opening 15 minutes to stand any sort of chance of any sort of comeback.
Well, that's what Peter Reid will have said at half-time, amongst other things, I'm sure, that we wouldn't be able to repeat or broadcast. But what Sunderland have got to do is just throw the kitchen sink at Everton and just hope that if they can get one, then Everton might get a little bit rattled. But like I say, there's no sign of that. You've got every confidence when Richard Goff's at the back.
Well, Francis Jeffers is putting the Sunderland defence under all sorts of pressures. A lovely little flick on by Kevin Campbell. Everton have a throw-in. Sunderland look a little bit shaky at the back with the Campbell and Jeffers combination as Mark Pembridge quickly takes the throw. Here is Pembridge. Pembridge still in possession, leaves it for John Collins. Now Hutchison, 2 goals to his name already so far in this game. The Blues lead by 3 goals to 0. Everton at home to Sunderland. It's the FA Carling Premiership as Pembridge whips the cross in too near the goalkeeper. Kevin Campbell's a good 5 yards away from Thomas Sorensen. Wasn't going to get on the end of that in a month of Sundays. The half-time competition is now closed. The winner, of course, was Nick Barmby. And the winner is of our half-time competition, Charles Kreinau from Ramburg in South Africa. So, good afternoon to you, listening to Radio Everton via the internet, of course. You have won our half-time competition here at Goodison Park. If you've just joined us, it's Everton 3, Sunderland 0. 2 goals from Don Hutchison and Francis Jeffers have scored the goals for the Blues. I'm sure Walter Smith and Sir Philip Carter will be very pleased with the performance so far. They'll be looking for a couple more goals, of course, just to round off the 1999 campaign. Looking forward to the new millennium, the new year, and possibly the new ownership. But we're looking forward to another 30 minutes of football here at Goodison Park and looking for a couple more goals. Sunderland are throwing everything at Everton at the moment. There's a clearance from Paul Gerrard, only finds Niall Quinn, and Richard Goff just nods it back to the Everton goalkeeper. Very slippery conditions, Darren. We've had half an hour or so of rain. It's going to make it difficult for the players to play in the next half an hour.
It certainly is, and I must make mention of Stephen Lodge. I've been highly critical of Stephen Lodge in the past, just as Everton attack down the right-hand side. It's out of play. I've been highly critical of Stephen Lodge in the past, particularly when he's been here at Goodison Park, but he showed common sense this afternoon. I'm not sure what the Premier League assessors will think of it all, but 1 or 2 late challenges have gone in, and Stephen Lodge has looked at the surface, he's looked at the pace of the game, and he's let play flow, and he hasn't used his yellow card as often as he often has in the past.
It's 3-0 to the Blues. Goal kick to Sunderland. Niall Quinn comes back and tries to win the ball for Sunderland. John Collins under pressure. Has to go back to Paul Gerrard. Talking to Scott Gemmell at half-time, Paul Gerrard is a bit worried that he's already picked up 3 or 4 bookings so far this season for dissent, as Don Hutchison just takes the ball away from Kevin Campbell. We'll continue that conversation about Paul Gerrard just in a couple of seconds as Everton come forward. It's with Richard Dunn, right-hand side, looks to get past the fullback, gets past him, in comes the cross from Richard Dunn. The goalkeeper comes and collects. But well done, Richard Dunn, for actually looking to beat the fullback. He got the cross in, but just too near the goalkeeper. Here's John Collins. He's able to find Richard Dunn once again. But just talking about Paul Gerrard is a bit worried that he may pick up more bookings for dissent. So he's actually being very careful of what he says in games, because he doesn't want to get into the Everton side and suddenly have to miss out due to suspension. He's already got a couple of yellows to his name, so he is looking to make sure that he doesn't do anything untoward. David Weir has it. Niall Quinn in strongly. Away by the Sunderland defence. Here's Gavin McKenna. His touch just lets him down, and a particularly good ball from John Collins. Nick Barmby was there for the Blues. Here's Richard Dunn. Just feeds it to Barmby to his right-hand side. Barmby just inside the Everton half. Has it once again, and back again it goes to David Weir, who in turn finds Richard Goff, launches it long, looking for Jeffers. Jeffers wins it. Here is Don Hutchison. Play on, says Stephen Lodge. Hutchison releases Kevin Campbell. He's onside. Good save by Sorensen, but Jeffers has it back. Chance for Jeffers. Chance for Pembridge, and there's his first goal for Everton. Mark Pembridge at the far post was there for the Blues. Well, Kevin Campbell should have scored after a fine ball through to him, but Mark Pembridge did. The ball broke to Francis Jeffers. Jeffers looked up, saw Pembridge totally unmarked at the far post, and Pembridge was there to slot the ball into the back of the Sunderland goal. It's Everton 4, Sunderland 0. Mark Pembridge with his first goal for the Blues since his recent arrival at Goodison Park. Takes the congratulations from Francis Jeffers, and the little Welshman looks quite happy with that. His first goal for Everton. And well, with 16 minutes gone of this second half, I think, Darren, that's Merry Christmas and all 3 points.
Well, that's it. That's game, set and match now. The Sunderland challenge is well and truly expunged now. That was a lovely move again from Everton. Francis Jeffers firing the final cross across the face of the goal, and a nice finish from close range from Mark Pembridge.
Well, here comes Sunderland inside the 18-yard box. The shot comes in. Not the best of efforts from Michael Reddy, 19 years of age. It's a summer signing from a local Irish side, Kilkenny. Just on as a substitute at the start of the second half. Peter Reid does not look happy now. He's not too far away from our commentary position. Chewingham is out from the former Everton midfielder. Not doing too badly in the league though, are they? Currently third in the Premiership, but this afternoon they just haven't fired.
Well, they haven't been allowed to, because we've just been... Sunderland haven't been at the races because we've been so energetic in our tackling, our passing and movements has been excellent. All the tight situations right in front of us here in the Everton dugouts have been controlled by Everton. It's been a truly wonderful performance. There's plenty more goals in this game as well.
Let's hope they all go Everton's way, as Don Hutchison was looking to just nip in and steal the ball back to the Blues. He was unable to do so. He just held off his challenge, because I think if he would have dived in, he could have been in trouble with the Everton skipper. Sunderland have it with Makin. The pressure goes to Steve Bold, but Everton closing the Sunderland players down very quickly. As soon as they get the ball, there's always a blue shirt right with them. As the case is now with Williams, who was quickly closed down by Pembridge and Campbell. Forward it goes from Sunderland. David Weir tries to regain possession. Here's Niall Quinn, only as far as Summerby. Chance for Summerby to run at David Unsworth. It's Summerby's cross. Back to Paul Gerrard. Newcastle have equalised at home to Liverpool. Duncan Ferguson has scored for Newcastle. It's Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. There's Everton on the break, but the offside flag is up. Francis Jeffers is offside. The ball goes into the back of the net, but the offside flag has been raised. The goal won't stand. And it's still Everton 4, Sunderland 0. The offside flag was up very quickly against Francis Jeffers. He wipes the sweat the top of his forehead, thinking that Archie Knox was quickly out of his seat to celebrate the 5th Everton goal. Well, he thought it was the 5th Everton goal, but it wasn't to be. But this has certainly been a tremendous Everton performance, and we've still got 25 minutes of this game to go. More goals, as Darren Griffiths says, in this game. Hopefully the Blues will be getting a few more on the score sheet. But just tell you the news from St James's Park. It's Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. Duncan Ferguson has scored the equalising goal for Newcastle. 2-2 St James's Park. Richie Goff just leaves that as David Weir comes in and hooks the ball clear, left-footed. Anywhere will do when you're under pressure. Behind it goes for a throw-in to Sunderland. David Weir, Richie Goff back at the heart of the Everton defence. The Weir-Goff partnership have kept Niall Quinn very quiet today. Of course, no Kevin Phillips. That is a big factor as far as Sunderland are concerned. It's like saying no Kevin Campbell playing alongside Francis Jeffers. That's how important Phillips and Quinn are to Sunderland, as Campbell and Jeffers are important to Everton. Everton actually defending to do a throw into Sunderland. Williams to take. Richard Goff brings the ball out of defence. Here's John Collins, outside of the foot, finds Mark Pembridge under pressure, plays the ball upfield, looking for the pace of Francis Jeffers. Sorensen's out of his goal and thumps it downfield. Unsworth has his arm raised for offside, but assistant referee shakes his head. Forward it goes to Nick Barmby, takes the ball in his stride. This is a chance for Barmby. Could this be number 5 for Everton? Good save by Sorensen, and cleared off the line. Oh, just a couple of yards off the line by a Sunderland defender. Nick Barmby nearly made it 5-0 to the Blues, but Everton still pressing forward. Great run from Barmby. It was a great ball as well. Out of play, throw into Sunderland. Well, Darren, we're seeing a great game of football.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be 5 or 6. Couldn't it? Francis Jeffers before when he was just offside. But what a wonderful finish. Francis didn't know the whistle had gone. The Sunderland keeper didn't know the whistle had gone. And Francis's rising shot found the top corner of the net. And I was just hoping then that somebody would follow up on the second ball when Nick Barmby was played in. He showed great strength and speed, Nick Barmby. His original shot was saved by Sorensen and just nobody there to poke it over the line. But I tell you what a result this is. There's plenty more goals in this game, hopefully for Everton, but Sunderland, third in the table at the start of play. OK, they were thumped at Chelsea on the opening day. Since then, nobody's broken them down, but we've done that this afternoon. We've torn them to shreds.
It's Jeffers looking for Barmby. He's onside, chance for Pembridge possibly with a second. Barmby tries to nip in, and he can't get on the end of it. The ball's gone out of play. We're going to have a corner, but my oh my, what a game of football we've seen here at Goodison this afternoon. End-to-end stuff. Everton really turning on the style. They could have had, as Darren's just said, 5 or 6 goals. There are more goals in this game. We've got another 20-odd minutes or so remaining as the corner comes in. David Weir can't get on the end of it. Was it handball? No, says Stephen Lodge. As Mark Pembridge just gets hold of the ball, just inside the Sunderland half, left-hand side. Forward now to John Collins, back to Pembridge. Pembridge into the feet of Jeffers. Oh, he's taken a kick as Francis Jeffers. As John Collins has it now for Everton. Looks up, looking for the forward run of Kevin Campbell. Was he fouled? No, says Stephen Lodge. Play continues. Good to I can tell you that Francis Jeffers is back on his feet. Seems to be okay as Weir in strongly. Now Richard Dunn. Chance for Don Hutchison. Looks up. Sees Kevin Campbell in front of him. The ball's been dipped forward looking for Campbell. Listen, get it back. There's something that just cleared the lines. Here's Unsworth, left-hand side. Forward it goes, looking for Campbell. Away by the Sunderland defence. Aston Villa have taken the lead at Derby County. George Boateng, the former Coventry player, has scored in the Midlands derby. So Villa leading at Derby County. As Nick Barmby now has it for Everton. Looks up, tries to get past the Sunderland defence. Sorensen quickly out of his goal. He takes the ball into his arms quite comfortably, but Everton are rampant at the moment. Whatever was in the half-time cup of tea, it certainly worked. Sunderland came out the first 10 minutes, were looking to get something out of the game, but Everton just weathered the storm and really have been magnificent in this second half. There's Quinn, lovely little touch, looking for Summerby. He does well. There's now Quinn holding up the ball up. Unsworth has him. Pembridge, that was a bit of a poor ball. Pembridge under pressure, gets the ball back. But Richie Goff says to Paul Gerrard, it's mine, takes responsibility, finds David Unsworth who puts the ball clear. So Derby County 0, Aston Villa 1. George Boateng has scored for Villa at Pride Park. That's the latest goal in the Premiership. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. Newcastle just equalised through Duncan Ferguson. The scoreline here at Goodison Park. Everton 4, Sunderland 0. 2 goals from Don Hutchison, Francis Jeffers, and a goal in the second half. His first goal for the club from Mark Pembridge. As Everton come forward again, looking for goal number 5. But Francis Jeffers keep it in. He just about does so. Steve Bold's just in front of him. Kevin Campbell's calling for it. Here's Nick Barmby. This surely must be number 5. Barmby. Oh, it's been cleared off the line. Well, great defending by Chris Makin. Makin was in the right place at the right time, but there were 2 Everton players there. Barmby took the ball down, dipped the ball over the goalkeeper, and Makin just about got the ball clear. There's a smile on the former England international's face. He knows he could have had 2 goals this afternoon, but Everton have a corner, which Don Hutchison just wipes the sweat from his eyes. The ball comes in, looking for a blue shirt. Chance for David Weir. Well, he just takes it out of the path of Mark Pembridge. Hooked back in by Francis Jeffers. Away by the Sunderland defence. And John Collins gets the ball back to Don Hutchison. Needs support, gets it from Collins once again. Richie Goff forward, looking for Hutchison. Not the best of balls. Barmby scampers forward, wins a throw-in. Everton have a throw-in just 10 yards from that right-hand corner flag on the right-hand side. Quickly taken. Here's Hutchison, just turns away from Kilbane. Looks up, plays the ball across. He's looking for John Collins. John Collins couldn't do anything with it. Sunderland were able to bring the ball forward. Richie Goff just has to knock the ball out of play for a throw-in into the visitors. Well, Darren, Chris Makin, timely challenge.
Yeah, I think Nick tried to be just a little bit too clever. I mean, we can forgive him that. It's time now to try something a little bit flamboyant. You're 4-0 up in the Premiership with 20 minutes to go, and you're playing with such confidence against a side who really are the 6s and 7s. But I just feel that if Nick had just banged it first time, put his foot on the ball, control it, and then lashed it with his right foot, he would have had a 5th goal for Everton. But it was a good clearance from the young lad Chris Makin. He was following the play well. He got behind his goalkeeper and just scrambled it off the line.
Barmby, as I say, could have had 2 goals so far this afternoon. Sorensen's made 1 good save, and made an even important save, cleared the ball off the line as Campbell looks for Francis Jeffers, and Sunderland get the ball clear. 25 minutes gone of this second half. Everton leading by 4-0. Lovely touch from Campbell, finds Francis Jeffers, but his first touch just lets him down. Ball's back with Sorensen, under pressure, clears. It's a slice clearance off the outside of his right boot, and a play for a throw into Everton as the range starts to come down inside Goodison Park once again. Richie Goff runs at least 10 yards forward to call for the ball, doesn't get it as being aimed towards Kevin Campbell. Here's Pembridge, now Jeffers, Campbell, Mark Pembridge. Ball runs out of play for throwing to Everton. I'm just going to say Pembridge and Campbell just got in each other's way, and Pembridge took the ball by the horns and went forward trying to regain possession of the Blues. He wins Everton a throw in. Here's Barnby, left-hand side, little cushion header looking for Mark Pembridge, doesn't come off. Sunderland just about get the ball clear. They're under pressure because Niall Quinn has now come back into more of a right-back's role. He realises that the pressure is being applied by the Blues. He'll have to go back and help out as Jeffers has it, finds Hutchison. Hutchison looks up, digs the ball forward, looking for Campbell, back to goal, chance for Kevin Campbell, there's goal number 5. What a superb goal by Kevin Campbell. He had his back to goal, the ball was played in by Dan Hutchison, and Campbell turned on a sixpence and stroked the ball past Thomas Sorensen in the Sunderland goal. It's his 9th goal of the season, it's Everton's 5th goal of the afternoon, and Peter Reid will not be happy. Former Everton players come to Goodison Park and seen his side, well, so far being hammered by Everton. It's Everton 5, Sunderland 0. Well, Kevin Campbell is in a rich vein of form. He scores his 9th goal of the season. He wears number 9 on his shirt. He's just taken the celebration from the tannoy announcer here at Goodison Park, and his name was shouted across the tannoy system. It's Everton 5, Sunderland 0. And, well, Merry Christmas to Walter Smith. Still plenty of time in this game. We've only had 28 minutes for this second half. Everton are about to make a substitution. Possibly the American international Joe Max Moore will be coming on. He's talking to Archie Knox and Dave Watson, and also Alex Clellan will be coming on as well. Everton going to make a double substitution. Of course, a game on Tuesday in Bradford, they won't be looking for any key players to be injured. I'm sure it'll be either Kevin Campbell or Francis Jeffers to make way, as Walter Smith makes his way down from the director's box. I'm sure as soon as the crowd actually see Walter, there'll be a chant of Walter Smith's name. Just talking to Joe Max Moore, just in front of our commentary position, literally 5 yards away from where we're sitting here. As the substitution will be made very shortly. Stephen Lodge is just signalling towards Richie Goff to make sure the free kick is taken from the correct spot. As play continues here, so just looking towards Walter Smith, just having the final instruction. Joe Max Moore has yet to figure in an Everton game. He's been on the subs bench a couple of times. This will be his home debut. As Everton press forward, looking for goal number 6. Can they get it? They've won. Throw in. The double substitution is about to be made. Joe Max Moore and Alex Clellan are coming on. It's Nick Barnby who will be coming off for Joe Max Moore. Listen to the round of applause for the Everton number 8. Standing ovation inside Goodison Park for Nick Barnby. Had an outstanding game. So Joe Max Moore comes on. He's making his Everton debut. Nick Barnby gets all the pats on the back from all the coaching staff. And Francis Jeffers is the player to make way for Alex Clellan. So Alex Clellan, I'm sure, will go and play on that right-hand side of midfield, and Joe Max Moore will go up front alongside Kevin Campbell. Francis Jeffers, the player to come off. So a double substitution for the Blues. Ball's been played in, looking for Max Moore, gets his head to it, his first touch in English football. Referee says goal kick. The Everton players were looking for the corner. Not given on this occasion. Stephen Lodge, a match official, and a good game. Referee very furling. It's Thomas Sorensen, sets himself up for this goal kick. Clears right-footed, looking for Niall Quinn. He wins the ball in the air. Back it will go, I'm sure, to Paul Gerrard, which it does. Clears left-footed. Looking for Joe Max Moore. His first touch is not a good one. Leaves it for John Collins. Collins just about keeps it in, but wins the throw-in. In an all-round good performance. But Darren Griffiths in the double substitution. Francis Jeffers and Nick Barnby taken off, of course. With the game on Tuesday, Walter Smith will not be looking for any injuries.
Of course, and Nick Barnby, as always, has got through a mountain of work this afternoon. Francis Jeffers as well, he's still only a young lad, he's only a kid in football terms, you know, Francis Jeffers. He's done 2 games in 3 days will certainly take its toll. So a chance for Alec Cleland to get a run out in the Everton side. He looks to be playing at a right midfield position for Everton as the game comes to the final quarter of an hour. And a chance, of course, for everybody to have a look at Joe Max Moore and just see how he'll work alongside Kevin Campbell, because I've said on Radio Everton before, it's a little bit harsh, it's a bit unfair to expect 40-odd Premiership games from a youngster like Francis Jeffers. He will get tired, he's still a growing lad, so we need to know what other permutations we can rely on. And it's a chance for Joe Max Moore with 14 minutes to go, 5-0 up, to show what he can do.
Well, we've got 5 goals here at Goodison Park. We've had further goals in the Premiership. It's Aston Villa 2-0 up now at Derby County. Ian Taylor has scored the second goal for Aston Villa, take the pressure off John Gregory. And at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 1, Bradford 0. Here at Goodison is the main scoreline. It's 5-0, but here's a chance for Sunderland as David Weir's quickly across to knock out the challenge, or the shot from Reddy. Here's Kevin Campbell now, he's skipped past his challenge. Campbell looks up, finds Alex Cleland. Cleland get on the end of it, gets tackle. Play continues, the ball's still in play. Can Cleland get there? The ball just runs out of play for a throw-in to the Blues. So, throw-in to Everton. Alex Cleland on for Nick Barnby. Joe Max Moore on for Francis Jeffers. 5-0 up, looking for goal number 6. Here's Alex Cleland, lovely ball. It's one throw-in. Everton's best result against Sunderland was back in 1914, and that was a 7-1 win on the 21st of November. Currently 5-0 up. If we could score a couple more goals, there's still 13 minutes remaining plus any stoppage time. Kevin Campbell under pressure. The ball just runs out of play. Another throw in to the Blues. Throw-ins could be taken. Here's Joe Max Moore. Runs out of play. Throw in goes Sunderland's way. Sunderland just set themselves to take this throw. Chris Makin, who's gone to left back, or onto the left-hand side of the defensive 3. Sunderland have lined up in the second half. Assistant referee's waving his flag. That's going to go Sunderland's way. There's been plenty of games on Boxing Day against Sunderland. Met 6 times. In previous Boxing Days, Everton have won 3 games. There's been 1 draw and lost 2. Dwight York has scored the second goal for Manchester United. Manchester United 2, Bradford 0. Dwight York with the second goal for Man United. Man United 2, Bradford 0 in the Premiership. As David Weir heads the ball clear, looking for Mark Cambridge. John Collins now just nods it for Mark Cambridge to run onto. He's under pressure from Summerby and David Unsworth on the overlap. Unsworth, first time, crosses, looking for Joe Max Moore. It's a chance for the American. Has a bit of work to do, needs support. Just couldn't latch onto it now. Unsworth, does he keep it in? Yes, he does. Looking for the cross to come in, but unable to do so. Sunderland are able to clear the lines. But it could have been a perfect dream start for the American. His first game in English football. Now he seized on an opportunity there. As Clement finds Hutchison. Now to David Weir. Skips past 1 challenge. Looks up and plays the ball into the path of Richard Goff. So Weir has it now for Everton. Just caught. Gets the ball forward though to Kevin Campbell. Sunderland have it back. Long ball forward. Niall Quinn again wins it in the air. Sunderland have it with Kilbane. John Collins is there again. Everton, Darren Griffiths, Richard Goff back in the Everton side. How important is that?
Well, the proof's in the pudding is that you've just got so much more confidence when either Dave Watson or Richard Goff are at the back. No disrespect to the lads who come in full defensive partnership. Well, we had different permutations at the back, but Richard Goff's been missed. You know full well that anything that goes through, he doesn't win the first ball, he won the second ball, he reads it so well. And Walter Smith said only this morning on Radio Everton that it's not just his own individual performances, it's the way he dictates the pattern of play from the defenders. He organises things so well. He's got a wealth of experience, and he can still get forward. He can still get forward as a thoroughbred galloping forward, and you've seen that for the goal that he set up in the first half of Francis Jeffers. He tore the Sunderland midfield apart with a good forward run, positive forward run, and laid it off for Kevin Campbell for Francis Jeffers to finish. Great all-round performance from Richard Goff again.
Well, Everton have a free kick. Richard Goff, 37 years of age, missed the last 3 games with a thigh injury, set 1 goal up, so he's already got a goal assist so far this season. He's leading by 5 goals goals to nil. Under 10 minutes remaining in this Premiership game. Kevin Campbell can't win that in the air. As David Unsworth just nods the ball forward to Pembridge, left-hand side, back to Unsworth, just inside his own half. Forward it goes, looking for the American Max Moore. It's back with the Danish keeper, Thomas Sorensen. Goalkeeper who's been linked with big money move to Lazio not so long ago, but has pledged his future to the Weirsiders. It's his clearance, looking for the big man up front, Niall Quinn. Not for the first time, Quinn wins it in the air. This is a chance for Nick Summerby. Chance for Sunderland, and away by David Weir. Summerby was the spare man, trying to whip the ball across the face of the Everton goal, and David Weir was there just to knock the ball behind the corner to Sunderland. Just under 9 minutes remaining. Everton has some defending to do. Ball bobbles around inside the 18-yard box. Chance for Richard Dunn if he can clear. Niall Quinn's there. Don Hutchison's also there for Everton. Here's Kilbane. And that's going to be a throw-in. In fact, the referee's going to give a free kick against Don Hutchison. Shake of the hands from Hutchison and Kilbane. Kilbane, of course, recent signing from West Brom for £2.5 million. Sunderland. Left at the end of the season on a Bosman free transfer. Kingsbury decided to buy him now. Away by Richard Dunn. The free kick was swung in, and Everton defended well. Sunderland still have it. Williams back to Makin. Forward it goes. Off the chest. Ready. Now Summerby. Just about keeps the ball in play. It's a poor ball as Max Moore finds Pembridge. Now Pembridge looks up, looking for Kevin Campbell. It's 1 against 1. Now Campbell looks up, sees to his right-hand side that he's got support from Alex Cleland, but not enough on it. And the ball's back with Sorensen. Sorensen looks up and plays an interesting ball, and that's a very interesting ball because he's played it on one side of his 18-yard box. The idea was there to play it to Steve Ball, but plays the ball straight out of play for a throw into Everton. As Pembridge has it, looking for support. Gets it from Unsworth. Unsworth has to go back. No, decides he's going to go through the Sunderland players. Looking for Kevin Campbell. Ball cleared by the Sunderland defence. Chance for Sunderland to break. It's with Michael Reddy, the 19-year-old, looking to get past David Weir. Weir's there. Safety first. Has knocked the ball out of play. Worth throwing to Sunderland. 7 minutes remaining in this second half. The Blues leading by 5 goals to nil. Michael Reddy, 19-year-old, £3,000 signing in the summer. Looking to go on the score sheet. He's made 4 substitute appearances today. He's number 4. Bright future ahead of him, from all accounts from the Sunderland contingent. Richard not been there, seen it, done it. He's marked him out of the game since he's come on. Summerby now at the corner. Not the best is Kevin Campbell with a spectacular diving headed clearance. The ball and play for a Sunderland throw-in. Doesn't have some defending to do. The ball's been launched inside the 18-yard box. Chance for Paul Gerrard to just drop on the ball, which he does. Waste a few more valuable seconds, but he decides to clear long downfield, looking for Joe Max Moore, but 2 Sunderland players there. Can Alex Cleland get on the end of it? He certainly can. He's found Max Moore. He's onside. Chance for the American, and he's been bundled off the ball. Well, he could have scored on his debut. Alex Cleland did well to get the ball through to him. Unfortunately, his name was strong enough to just hold off the challenge. Although in Griffiths, it would have been nice if he could have got on the score sheet.
Well, we're asking for a bit much there. His first touch was excellent, but he just didn't see the defender coming in behind him. The defender knocked him off the ball.
Here's Mark Pembridge, chance for the Everton midfielder. Just loses out though. It's Collins in strongly, and a throw in goes Sunderland's way, but it's more signed by Walter Smith. First appearance in the blue shirt. Just couldn't take the ball in his stride, go on and number 6 in the back of the net. It would be nice. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do so. Now, Hutchison didn't get a particularly good ball from Richard Dunn. Dunn has the time to get the ball back to Paul Gerrard. On his favoured left foot, clears left-footed downfield. It's going to be a free kick to Everton. Kevin Campbell fouled by Paul Cutler. Little push in the back, just inside the Sunderland half. Hutchison, ball over the top, looking for Kevin Campbell, just a bit too quick from Hutchison. Sunderland have possession. 5 minutes remaining. There's only stoppage time. Stephen March wishes to add on in this game. As Niall Quinn has it. Feeds it to Kilbane on the left-hand side, running at Alex Cleland on as a second-half substitute. Play against Exeter, of course, on Tuesday night. This is placed to Richard Goff this afternoon's game. Free kick goes Everton's way, the offside flag is up. Overall impressions, Darren, of the Everton performance this afternoon?
Very encouraging, Graham. The scoreline tells its own story. We haven't been flattered. Paul Gerrard really hasn't had an awful lot to do. He hasn't had that many saves worthy of the name. Everton have just been first to every ball in midfield. It's impressed me, the attitude of the players. Even when we were 3-0 up, 4-0 up, 5-0 up, we've been scrapping in the middle for every single ball as if it was 0-0 in the first couple of minutes of the game. John Collins, Richard Goff, Don Hutchison, Richard Dunn, they've all personified the Everton spirit this afternoon. It'd be nice now if Joe Max can just get on the score sheet. That really would complete everybody's Boxing Day.
Here is Joe Maxmore, takes the ball and he strides, just slips, obviously hasn't got proper studs on for today's game, so about the third time he's fallen over. Here's John Collins, looks up, tees himself up, ball breaks. Will Kevin Campbell get on the end of it? Sorensen's brave. It's fine goalkeeping by the big Dane, spotted the ball just looting off a defender, and he realised Kevin Campbell was going to be challenging for it, and the big Danish goalkeeper, Peter Schmeichel's replacement for Denmark, was able to just quickly get off his line and snuff out any danger. He clears now, long downfield. I don't know if David really had a call from Gerrard to leave that, or if he totally missed it, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that the goalkeeper called. It's back with Paul Gerrard. Tam looks, he's looking for Kevin Campbell, goes over Campbell's head, goes over Williams' head and back to Thomas Sorensen. So from one goalkeeper to another. Just under 3 minutes remaining. Blues leading by 5 goals to 0. Merry Christmas. Everton playing 11 here today. They've been absolutely outstanding. Every player has given 110%. Sunderland currently lying third in the Premiership. They haven't been allowed to play. Come to Goodison. They've been given a football lesson. That's Kevin Campbell, wins it in the air, but there's no one on the end of it. I think now, possibly, we'll just be looking to play out the final couple of minutes. We won't be looking to go in too hard, because we had a game on Tuesday, away at Bradford City. Kevin Campbell has 9 goals to his name already this season. I'm sure Walter Smith will be very happy with the performance, hoping that we don't concede a goal in the final couple of minutes, just to round off the 5 goals with a clean sheet. Manchester United now leading by 4 goals to 0. Mr. White York scored the second. Goodison, it's 5. Well, there's a possible shout of foul throwing there, but the referee shook his head. Joking going on from the Sunderland bench. No drubbing. Richard Goff leads the Everton back 4. Some defending to do that. Niall Quinn goes down like he did his poleaxe inside the Everton 18-yard box. He got the touch, which knocked the ball out of play for a goal kick, and then fell over. Into the final minute of this game. Everton leading by 5 goals to 0. I'm sure we'll have a great response when the final whistle does go. And everyone inside Goodison Park, a capacity crowd for this game. Sunderland have sold every ticket. They've brought their supporters down in numbers. There's been a lot of Evertonians inside Goodison Park, and it's been a very good day for Everton Football Club. Sunderland have it. Can they get a consolation goal? Michael Reddy, the little back clear. Well, I'm sure that's something they worked on the training ground, but Chris Makin wasn't able to get on the end of it. Don Hutchison now comes forward. Campbell's calling for it. No foul, says the referee. Play on. It's with McCann. Forward to Kilbane. Has space to run the Everton back 4. Looking to get past Richard Goff. Can't get past Mark Cambridge, who's back in a defensive role. As David Unsworth looks up, plays the ball down the left-hand touchline, looking for the forward run of Joe Maxmore. Does that ball stay in play? Yes, it does, according to the assistant referee. And Stephen Lodge blows his whistle. The Blues end the millennium with a 5-goal thrashing of Peter Reid's Sunderland. Goals from Don Hutchison 2 goals, the first 2 goals to the Everton skipper score, then Francis Jeffers scored just before half-time. The Blues took a 3-0 half-time lead. In the second half, well, Mark Pembridge was there for the Blues to score goal number 4. And to round the day off, Kevin Campbell got the 5th goal. The Blues could have had 6, 7 or possibly 8. Everyone gave 110%. A standing ovation inside Goodison Park for Walter Smith's men. They've given every Evertonian the perfect Christmas present here at Goodison Park. Dan Hutchison, the Everton skipper, applauds the Gladys Street end, walks towards the park end. He knows how much it means to everyone inside Goodison Park. A great performance. They go to the game now on Tuesday at Bradford full of confidence, and it's Everton who come out victorious in this game. Here on Boxing Day, well, Everton have met Sunderland 6 times. This was number 7. Before today, they've won 3 games, drawn once and lost twice. The last time we beat Sunderland on Boxing Day was back in 1984, and there were 2 goals from Derek Mountford. Today, much better. 5 goals from the Blues. We could have had more. A great all-round performance from every Everton player, and I'm sure Kevin Campbell will be enjoying himself tonight as he just passes my commentary position here. So Everton have beaten the side currently lying in 3rd.